Hey, it's just so Trish, and it's the long-awaited review of ABC with Ace and Christie. This is part of the Accelerated Christian Education curriculum, also known as ACE. And this is, it's actually two binders. The first 12 weeks of first grade is what this is used for. So I am going to give you my opinions and my reviews after using it for 10 to 12 weeks. So here we go. I know that you've been waiting on this video. It is early morning, hence the early morning face, to give you this video. I will tell you, I know a lot of you were like, where is the review? And I've dragged my feet on doing it. I really wanted to get the full 12 weeks before I reviewed it. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. So, ABC with Ace and Christie consists of 2 of these binders, which is your teacher's manual, 12 word building paces, I grabbed one, and 12 of these animal science books. So that's the material. Then there's flashcards and there's CDs and things of that nature. For the most part, we're just going to talk about the overview of the curriculum. These are the binders. There's 2 of them with all the disaster that happened in the chaos and the packing of the house and what was lost. I cannot find my second binder, so I honestly do not know if it got wet and somebody threw it out for me or if it got packed and I just can't find it. But I only have one, but I've been through both of them. So the premise of the binder, so on the very front page are the PACE goals. So this is pretty much your, I have a baby. I can't drink my coffee. So this is the PACE goals that are on the cover of it. So section 1 is really like a week. Section 2 is the second week, and so forth. And they tell you what character trait you're learning, what memory verse, and what sound you're learning. It is not until no. It's not until the second week, and this is the back of it. It's not until the second week that you start your math. So this is the first 6 weeks. The other binder has the next 6 weeks. Here's the thing to take notice first off. This is not something I typically do when teaching phonics, or I have done successfully, is teaching all the sounds of A. M, S, F. You can see it goes into letters. So in the very beginning, it wasn't that difficult to do. I'm going to tell you, the first few weeks were very easy. But before I get into that, let me show you what's consists of. So this is the first packet. It tells you activities to do as if it was set up in a classroom. You will learn about apes during that, that animal. You will have songs and chants. You'll have a copy of the story. No, ma'am. You'll have a copy of the story that comes in animal science. So this is essentially your, she's not supposed to be up yet, your manual. And then in the midst of the manual, you'll get some other activity sheets. She wants my coffee. So it has other activity sheets. I think I'm going to have to, hold on. So what I found with these, at the beginning of it, I'm like, these are great. They're easy to do. They're a great intro into them. And I'm like, and I was comparing them to my experience with Christian Light Education. I'm like, they're much easier to get through. Not a big deal. Until we ran into a problem. They grow really quickly into reading. See, what this is a review of kindergarten. So if you didn't learn the way they learned in kindergarten, you're not really prepared. So I think kindergarten, I don't own kindergarten. I've looked at Andrea MIlls' channel. I'll put a link here on her kindergarten review. I'll even put a link if she has a first grade review. But this is review. It began to have problems. So let me show you. I'm going to cover really quickly like some of the books. So you'll see why we considered it easy stuff. Not bad. This felt like kindergarten work. I'm not going to lie. It felt like kindergarten. This was going to be so easy. I actually really love the handwriting. The first book covers the math also. This is not bad stuff. Not bad. You know, it's really basic. And I felt like we were going to be well prepared. Dot to dots. So, some numbers. Not bad. Then the second book. Still, we're feeling the same love. I should probably point this down so you're not looking at me, but I don't have a clean desk. You know, it's just some really not difficult, not very difficult stuff. And then we get into like our first word reading is week second. Mama, may, am, aim. And see, it does the... And that wasn't too bad. I mean, it was like learning to sound it out, but not necessarily reading. So then we get into the S, and it's say, same, Sam, mass, saw. So you're supposed to be reviewing those. We did our best. These words were safe and fame. So it still felt very comfortable. You know, it wasn't that bad. And now, granted, these are about 1 week. So we go into R. And we have a hard time. And what I realized, so ray, rare, mare, fair, air, r, ram, mar, far. It hasn't happened yet until we bring in the E that she begins getting confused between a. And this is where we really start getting problems. And I'm not saying that this is a bad course. I'm saying we did not have the background yet. We didn't really have the strong background that kindergarten does. So here we go. Bay, base, bear, ba, bass, baba, baba, bar, bee, bee, beef, beam, abe. We start having kind of little problems, but they didn't really notice They didn't really notice very much. You know, and she still loves the books. She absolutely loves the books. Now this is 4 weeks in. Name, same, fame, near. You get my gist? But we were making do. And I'm like, well, it can't be that bad. And I would look. You know, but these become the reading list. She can't hear them. My fault. Phonetic awareness. I know. But we kept going. Felt really comfortable even into 6. You know. Because then we'd get words like this. And I'm like, well, maybe we're just learning to sound those, but we're really reading these. Kind of deal. You know. Not too bad. It could be fine. I'm missing 7. I think it happens in 8. In 8 they get like the first reading passage. So this is 8. Maybe it's 9. And then we kind of get our first reading. Here it is. Our first reading passage. I met a pig. The pig is in a pen. The pig is a pet. The pig is in a pen. we don't, this is when I knew like we were kind of like in trouble, because even the very basics of blending we haven't gotten it, and I didn't teach it before, and now we're trying to use it and it's not there. It's not there. She finished 9 and she finished 9 well. I mean, but she's starting to have a hard time because we have the 2 different C's, the cut and the sus C, right off the bat. And she starts having a hard time hearing the sounds. And see, now we are, this one's the cereal. Face, mice, cat. We're having a hard time. This, a lot of help with mom. I'm sounding everything out, and I'm not against that at all. I think we had another, and then we did the J's. But my problem is we haven't, and I mean, for me, this is like a week 18 lesson, not in a week 8 or 9. My thing is, we haven't even figured out how to sound the, just the short vowel 3-letter words at all. We haven't gotten that down. And, you know, I just didn't realize that that was not going to be taught. You know, this is stuff, and I'm not going to lie, I'm fanatical about teaching reading because I was not a reader. When I say I was not a reader, I had 0 reading comprehension out of high school. Through my bachelor's degree, it was rough road. And I mean, I did 100 hours of Sylvan Learning Center. I did the Chapter 1 reading program that now is Title I schools, whatever it is. I spent my entire elementary between the public school reading lab and private tutoring. Reading did not come naturally. It wasn't until I was in my master's degree that I learned the structure of writing, is when I learned to have reading comprehension. I could read words, but put the words together, I didn't get it. So I knew I'm like a little bit like, figuring it out. So if I don't get the reading lesson, I have a horrible time teaching it. That's how come I didn't know how my first learned to read. That's how come it took us years to teach my second one, because he wasn't getting it. And I'm like, how do we make these jumps? That was my issue. And so like, we're not making the jumps. Let's go back and start over again. And that's when I found Christian Light Education. I did Christian Light Education for my second one. Smooth sailing. She was reading by November. We are a month from November. Why am I not there? I lent my curriculum out. Whoops. I lent it out. So, and we were using ACEs, so I figured we would use ACE. That's my issue. That's why. So, we've started here and we've had to just stop. So, it's still U. It's no, it's unicorn, U. We're, you know, but we're getting mixed up with those cut oats. You know, because it's like, are we doing those hard sounds, soft sounds? We, see, so we're reading these. This was a hard one to read. She kind of got it, but I felt good because, you know, I felt like this was appropriate for her to be attempting to read. I'm not gonna lie. So, then we got to, and at this point, we're just like, you know what? We need to step back and learn how to sound these out. So, at that point, it's like, step back. All right. There's a jump there. We don't have the previous experience. We don't have that foundation that was set in kindergarten 1 to be able to use the ACE 12-week curriculum well. Do I think it was a flop? Nope. I think it's been time well spent for the resource I pick. It wasn't horrible. We've learned a lot. But as for that being a direct path to reading, not quite. This is an example of just what the animal looks like. One of these books goes with each one of the word builders. You get the story, the pictures to the story, so they're looking. And the pictures in the stories have been wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Character building at its best. I can't begin to tell you enough how much I love the stories in here. Here is the story if you don't want to read it in the book. They get a coloring page. They'll get little activities to go with that one, to practice basic skills, and then they get the next story. And so you'll have the same thing for the next story, and then they might, so this one got colored, then they might have little games to go with it, kind of deal. We absolutely loved it. So here, another activity and drawing. Love these. Fantastic. And it's really cute the way that it went with the vowels. So I went on the Facebook group and I asked, I'm like, okay, I'm having an issue here. Why is my kid not picking up? It doesn't seem like it doesn't feel like we're making the path. And then it was informed to me that that's why you use the kindergarten program of ACE. The kindergarten builds that foundation needed so that when you go over the review, they have the sounds so down, concreted down, that the blend becomes, I didn't know that. I had no idea. So asking the moms that have had experience in doing this, they have recommended to slow down and kind of fill in and then pick back up. So I'm planning about a 4 to 6 week hiatus from the ACE, ABCs, and Ace and Christie. We might be like bringing some of them in, but we are going back and doing a full phonetics lesson review, and I'm going to show you in another video. I'll put that video down below when I get it released on what we're using. I'm going to do a separate review on ACE math, first grade, but I'll give you a heads up, phenomenal. My favorite first grade math, right here. Right here. She's she'll probably be done before the year's out. It has been phenomenal. It has been independent, and she is getting her math facts faster than any of the other kids ever. Right here. It has been entertaining and amazing. Maybe that's my review and I don't give you one, but phenomenal. So if you want a more detailed review of math, tell me and I'll give you one. So there you go. We tried it. It was good. Will I do it again? I'll probably do it again, believe it or not. I'll probably do it again because I like the way it was here. Will I do this right off the bat as my beginning phonetic curriculum? No. I don't like teaching kindergarten. I like to let them play. We are going to do some basic ABC identification, and actually that's going to be starting soon for my almost 4-year-old. I'm going to actually do some formal preschool of ABC acknowledgement, and then some really basic phonetics, so when we start that when it's his turn, we'll have a better success. I like the workbooks. I like the comic strips. I like the colors. I like the comical humor to it. It's joyful. My child has loved it. We just didn't do the groundwork to use it appropriately. So, I mean, really, we've had no formal training outside of Leapfrog Factory, Letter Factory. So there you go. All right, I hope you like this review. It's kind of long. Hope you don't mind. Got a little crazy hair going, and I'm probably going to cut a few more videos, so you'll see more crazy hair. We'll talk to you later. Peace out.